Thank you, everyone. Good morning, Eswatini, Durban, and all the brothers and sisters connected to us today. It's a great pleasure to be here to do this sharing to my brothers and sisters. And I'm very glad for the first sharing, and I'm glad also to see Sister Barbara. And happy to have seen her sharing and to have learned also from her. So today I'm going to do sharing regarding a little bit of my academic journey. And with it, I will bring some challenges that I believe that also my brothers and sisters from Eswatini, Durban, they also come across along the way. So I'll be introducing myself first. My name is Valter Macuacua. I'm from Mozambique. I'm 29 years old. I'm a sushi volunteer, and I work as an English teacher and also as an official translator and interpreter. So I would like to share a little bit about this academic journey for the young people in Africa, particularly. Like what kind of challenges we face and how do we overcome them. And I would like also to share a little bit of my own story. And I mean, how I managed, what kind of struggles I faced and how I managed also to overcome them. And I believe my brothers and sisters, some of you might also go through the same challenges. Um, First is regarding the high school. Most of our schools, likely they are we usually attend high school free, so we don't usually face much problems. In Mozambique, for instance, even though it is said that to attend high school is for free, actually there are some little fees we pay, and also some of our communities, we struggle uh, in order to buy the school supplies. Most of us also, we struggle for transportation and so on. And one of the things I would like to discuss and share is facing all these problems. How do we pursue the career? When I did my high school, when my high school was complete, I didn't know exactly what I would do. On one hand, because I thought I had not enough conditions to carry on studying. I mean, to aspire going to university and, keeping on studying. But on the other hand, I did not even know, stop. I don't know, sorry, is the screen full? Are you seeing full screen?
Not yet.
No.
No? Okay. Okay.
It's okay now.
Thank you. Thank you. So I was talking about some of the challenges we faced during high school and after high school. Myself, for instance, when I finished high school, I did not even know what I would follow, what career I would follow. I struggled to find out, first of all, what I was keen on. I mean, after high school, okay, we usually in Mozambique, I believe it also happens in South Africa and other countries. When we intend to apply in public universities, we are supposed to sit for examinations. So I did not even know what I would follow. So this was one of the difficulties I had. Then I thought to myself what I was passionate by, I liked doing. So this was one of the strategies I used in order to pursue my career. Then I found out I would follow English. Then I decided to do. Then I became an English teacher. But then before that, I mean, when you think of applying in Mozambique, for instance, I attended a university called Edward Mondlane University. In this university, the average of people who apply is 25,000. And there are only 5,000 vacancies, only 5,000 over 5,000 places to apply every year. So, because, in every course, it's within 30 to 50 vacancies per course. So this demands a lot of discipline from the student. It demands a lot of trust uh, on your own self. You need to believe that you are able to be admitted. So this was one of the things I put in my mind at the time, that even though it's challenging, even though there are few vacancies, I I don't care about the other vacancies, but I believe that one of them will be mine. So this is what I would like to share as a motivational uh, speech to my brothers and sisters, those who are aspiring right now or are struggling to find out what they can do uh, later after high school. And this is something that I usually share with my students and everyone I come across whenever I have a chance, because I know that in most of our communities, particularly in Mozambique, I will mention regarding Mozambique and some communities, particularly in Maputo, most of the young people, soon after high school, some of them, they quit studying. Some don't manage to finish, and those who finish, when they try university and they don't manage, or some of them, they are not even motivated to apply, then most of my friends, for instance, people I got to know, they immigrate to South Africa looking for jobs. So I believe my brothers and sisters from South Africa, they know that there are a lot of Mozambican young people trying to get job there. So this is the way I struggled at the time. I had a lot of concern. I tried to figure it out what I could do as well, because I was not willing to follow the same path. So I thought this topic would be good for my brothers and sisters also to be motivated to start thinking of what they can do uh, for their own self, but also for where they live, for the people around them. Because I believe that if we make it in life, if we have achievement, those achievements actually they are for the people also around us. So this is the way I end up admitting. And as you might know, in Mozambique, our official language is not even English, it's Portuguese. Reason why it's very difficult for Mozambican people to speak in English. We usually rely on interpretation. I'm one of the interpreters whenever we have seminaries, for instance, from Master Chingan, the teachings from Master Chingan, for instance, somebody there, some volunteers interpret from Mandarin to English, then in turn, here also we have to interpret an interpretation from from English to Portuguese, because most of us, we don't speak Portuguese in Mozambique. So it was very hard to me to learn English, because at the time, it's different from nowadays. Nowadays, we have a lot of online sources, but at the time, not I didn't have access to all these, but I could grab whatever I could get, any from music, from novels, from dictionaries, grammar books, and I had this self motivation somehow. And you might wonder why I decide where did this motivation come from? Actually, I thought at the time that English would open doors to me as a young as a young as a young as a youth. I thought English would open doors and I would have access to many other things, because at the time I remember there were topics I was interested in, but they were in English. I couldn't understand. I couldn't go reading because the books, the sources I had, the few sources were available were in English. So I decided that English would be one of the tools so that I could improve. Probably different from countries such as South Africa or Eswatini, where English is one of the official languages. So later on, I also joined when I was still pursuing to learn English. I joined a community English center so that I could have some further studies. I started on my own, but I decided that maybe I needed some more help. I would meet people who were teachers and they would share what they had to me. But during this phase, I also struggled a lot. And this also matches with the speech from Sister Barbara. She was saying earlier today that we as young people, we should not just stay and wait for things to happen. We have also to do what we can do. So this reminded also of me the struggles I faced at the time. I remember I managed to attend the community language center, but there was a time I couldn't afford the fees. So I went for some odd jobs such as gardener assistant or bricklayer assistant so that I could manage to, to pay the fees of the English language center in my community. It was actually a very small school, a community school. It was not even official, but still, it was a little bit difficult for me to attend it because of the little fees I was supposed to pay. Then 1 year later, I wished I would also, I was already speaking English somehow, and I wish I would, teach my friends because most of them, they used to come to me and ask for help in their school assignments because we usually have English as a subject in high school from grade 8 to grade 12. So they used to come asking for help for their assignments, for their homework. So after that, I decided that why not teaching English, even though I'm not an official teacher, but why not doing it as a cram? Because we usually have some cram school, sort of cram school in our communities where people, after school, young people or children, they attend another school in someone else's home in order to get some explanation, help on homework, and so on. So I decided to do that first for the subject of English, then other subjects as well. And people were surprised because I decided to do that for free. But at the time, I was very happy for the fact that I had learned English. So I wished my friends, particularly my friends, they would also get this opportunity. So I thought if my friends speak English, we could have a sort of English club in our neighborhood. So I decided to start teaching. And I did not even imagine at the time I would one day become an English teacher. I would have this as a work, as a profession. At the time, it was just, that willingness of becoming, of helping my brothers, my friends, in my community. And it was really, really good because through that experience, I somehow, because of the pressure of having to teach others, I started working harder, even more. I started reading even more. I started investigating even more. And it was a very good practice to me. After a while, the school I used to attend also invited me to train me and also to, to teach English there. And that was the year also in 2015, I applied for university. And, at the time, I somehow already knew what I could do. I had some ideas of what I liked at least. So this was very great, was very nice to me, at least to know what am I keen on or what kind of career I would like to pursue or what do I love doing or how do I see myself after 5 years. So I think this is one of the questions very important for the young people when doing a high school or after high school. You can keep on asking yourselves, what do you like doing? What is your passion? What would you like to do? And this question seems nothing, particularly because we are sometimes demotivated. We think when we look at our surrounding, we see no results. We have no motivation because of the level of difficulties we are facing. Others are financial, the social problems we face. We know how it happens in our communities. But these questions for me were very important because through these questions, I found out what I could do. And I'm very happy to have chosen this career because nowadays I love what I do. I love teaching. And because when I teach, I have opportunity also to influence the others. It's not just about the science, but many other things. So I think these questions are the ones that are very important to every and each one of us here present, particularly the young people, those who have just done the high school, those who are aspiring to attend university, and maybe they don't even know what course, what career they would follow. And there is something also was mentioned by Sister Barbara today earlier. Which matches also with what I bring. I was very happy to hear her, and from the video also we watched today earlier, which says instead of complaining about life, what can we do in order to change the course of our lives? And most importantly, not only about ourselves, but also influence positively to the next generation, to the people around us. So, and I also have a question here to everyone, particularly African youth, which is, do you believe the future of Africa is on young people's hand? I mean, do you believe you have the future of this continent in your hands? Do you believe you have a very important role to play for the development of your own community? The answer from me is yes. We have a very important role, even though we lack resources sometimes, we lack opportunities sometimes, but at least we can do something. And I'm a proof of that, you know. So I wish this sharing can also inspire you guys to believe more in yourself, you know, have confidence, start designing, having perspectives and so on. So one of the things I would like to share also that in my opinion are some strategies, or we can consider them best learning strategies. Uh, it worked with me, and I believe it can work with you guys also, which is observation, listening, and discipline. I say observation because uh, you know, we usually learn from others. And if we are attentive, if we listen to the people who are around us, who have been through some experiences, and they are willing to share with us, this is a very good tool for our lives. And also the listening skill. We have to be able to listen carefully to what we are being taught. And most importantly, discipline. Because we might have uh, everything set, but if we are not diligent, if we are not consistent on our goals, along the way we get lost. And this, I think, is one of the major problems for our generation of young people. Earlier, it was being shared also about the bad influence from social media. We have a lot of distractions, as one of the sisters was saying. So in order not to fall on these distractions, we really have to be diligent. We have to have discipline. So, and I'm also happy to have heard earlier that instead of complaining, we should do something. My proposal is that, you know, from my experience, from what I also learned from others as well, one of my teachers used to tell me when I was doing grade 12, like you should maximize your resources. Because at the time, we used to complain whenever we could have a talk, an open talk in the classroom. We used to say, teacher, we have no opportunities. You know, things are very hard. And as time goes by, things get even more difficult. And my teacher used to say, you have resources, of course, but you don't see, you don't realize them. And we used to wonder which ones. And he said, diligence, time, you have talent, you have energy, and you have creativity. You are able to bring solutions by yourself, of course, on your own resources, on your own, whatever is possible. Of course, it is possible. And one of the things he used to tell us is that we should spend time with meaningful things. So this is also a sharing I would like to bring to my brothers and sisters, the young people. We should spend time with meaningful things. I mean, before we do something, before we go out, before we watch a video, we should sometimes ask ourselves, is it meaningful? I'm not saying we shouldn't have fun. No, I'm not saying that. Of course, it's good sometimes. I mean, um, is it something that's going to bring is an added value to me or not? And the other thing I find very good to me, at least, is that we should be truthful to ourselves. You know, Sister Barbara and the other sister were also sharing something related to this point. Like we should be truthful. We shouldn't pretend. We should know ourselves, accept our weaknesses, and then we can work on them. So this is one of the things that they worked with me, and I believe they can work with you. And talking about community, you know, as a youth, do you think one of the questions I made myself also is that do I play a role in my community development? Because before I used to think only of me. I had no idea that every single lesson I take, it would not only reflect on me, but on other people around me, you know. through this experience, for instance, of teaching English and giving assistance to children on their subjects at school, maths, Portuguese, and other sciences and so on, I understood that I had I had a role to play. I could do something not only to me, but to the others. So the answer is yes. We have a very important role for our community development, even though we are young people, you know. And one of the questions I also in the past I used to make myself is like whether do my decisions and choices influence, on others. Of course, for instance, um, one of the students I taught English at the time, one of my neighbors, nowadays, he has applied to university as well and is following this teaching career. So when I look at him today, when I got to know he was following this career, I got very happy. I got very inspired even more. I was like, wow, a single action of mine. At the time, I did not even notice it was a very meaningful thing I was doing. But I see I have influenced him positively in a way that he even decided to follow this career, and he was admitted at university despite all the challenges I have mentioned before. So I was very glad to know. I was very happy to know that we have this important role. And I bring here some points for the community development that I think some concepts that I think would be very helpful to every one of us. So one of them is community participation. Most of the times we ignore this when we have an opportunity to speak loud, to say something because we are young. We think it's not our responsibility. But as we said, every choice and every decision can influence others. So if we have something to say, if we have any idea, we can do something for our own development first, then our community, and then the whole country, across the country. So the ownership, involvement, the empowerment, we think we haven't got, but we do have. The access and opportunities, if I know something, I can bring my brother and sister to attend to that opportunity. So this is providing opportunities, providing access. Doesn't matter if it's a big opportunity or even something we think is meaningless. And also the rethinking and networking as well. The good affinities. For instance, I've learned a lot of good affinities in Tzu. I got to know many people and I keep getting to know many other people. Nowadays, I know Barbara, for example. We met in Taiwan. I know the other brothers and sisters. So these good affinities with a good mindset, it's a very important tool for our development. And I would like to also share a little bit of my journey. Apart from my academic journey, I would like to share my journey in Tzu. I got to know Tzu in 2020 as an English teacher. So, and one of the things was really remarkable to me was, the chance I had, the same way I'm doing today with you guys, the chance I had to motivate the volunteers I used to teach English. Most of them, they were like, teacher, when, for example, I used to ask them during the class, I sometimes make questions such as, how do you see yourself after 5 years? How do you see yourself after 7 years? What kind of things would you like to do in future? What kind of career would you like to pursue? And some young people would reply me answers like, I don't know, I don't think I'm able, I'm an orphan, I don't have opportunities, I don't think I might start further than this. So I felt very sad at the moment, and I felt like the same way I've done in the past, and unconsciously probably, I would also keep on doing to the others. And this is one of the this is one of the reasons I love teaching, because I have the opportunity of instilling hope on young people. And I tell them through my own story, I say, the same way I struggled, the same way one day I was lost, I didn't know what I would do, is the same way you also able to do. It's possible. You just have to believe yourself, believe in a better tomorrow, and follow up and have diligence. So this is, uh, the feeling I have when I teach. Like, I make the students believe that there is a better future, regardless what happened in the past. It doesn't matter. Regardless the present situation, the present circumstances, it's possible as long as you follow up, you are diligent, you believe yourself, you work hard on yourself, and consequently, you also have the opportunity of doing it to other people. So this was in Maputo. Maputo is the capital city of Mozambique. And we have also programs in Sofala, which is one of the provinces in Maputo, in Mozambique. So we have been carrying out this mission. We've been teaching English. We've been preparing young people in many ways through these programs. And I would like also to share my experience, my feeling um, through this. But besides teaching, I've also been interpreting Master Schengen teachings. um, I would like to say that interpreting Master Schengen teachings, I've been also working on the subtitling of the videos into Portuguese. It's very good. It's very challenging, but it's very, very, very good. Through this interpreting, I got to understand further uh, about the culture, the humanistic culture, but also I got the lessons for my own self as well. The moment I'm sharing, the moment I'm interpreting to my brothers and sisters in Mozambique, it's every day an added value to myself as well. So I'd like you to share some points. There are many teachings. We have been learning a lot. For the past 3 years, I learned a lot, but I would like just to highlight some of the few points were the most remarkable to me. One of the teachings have been remarkable to me is this one that says that life is impermanent. Masters in one of the masters teaching says life is impermanent. Life is like a train ride. You don't know when you get off or on the train. This is one of the teachings. And when I got this teaching, I started reflecting on it. Like, life is impermanent, the impermanence of life. Okay, as life is impermanent, what can I do in order to cherish this time I have as a youth? I'm still youth, okay, guys? I'm still youth. So what can I do? And I relate to another teaching, which says, to those who use their time well, time is precious like gem. But those who don't use their time wisely, it is worthless like mud. I think this teaching, it's very, very powerful to young people. When we start being concerned about the way we use our time still now as young people, I believe that our future, will be very, 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 very good, very, very promising future. And the other teaching I relate to the first one is every little bit of effort now becomes the fruit to reap tomorrow. At the time when I used to struggle, when I used to, work hard on myself, maybe I had no idea what would be the result. I had no idea of the dimension of what I was doing. But the little effort I had day after day, reading, pursuing what I wanted, going after my dreams, doing whatever it was necessary. At the time, maybe I had no idea of what I was doing exactly. I had no clear picture. But when I look back today, I see that every little effort, it's worth putting on. So this teaching is they are one of the most remarkable to me, and I would like to share to you also. And especially because this is a youth meeting, it's a meeting for young people. So we as young people, if we are able to think on ourselves, like, how do I whether do we make a good use of our time? This is one of the first questions. That's why I was very happy to see the sharing before, because the sisters were also asking whether what you do on social media, whether Facebook, WhatsApp, is it all an added value to you or not? So this also it has to do with my sharing also, whether we have meaningful actions, whether we are developing an altruistic spirit, whether we are thinking of our role in other people's life, whether we are managing to be diligent and pursue our dreams. So That's why I was very, very touched. And these are the sharing, the most remarkable sharing I got from the seminaries, from the experience of interpreting. And I would like to finish. I would like also to share some of the education programs I've been leading, I've been working on here in Mozambique. Apart from English classes to volunteers, we also have a cram school program that consists on assisting children from primary school, especially. These children, most of them have been displaced due to cyclones. They moved from a place to another place, and they spent some time without lessons. So we go to these resettlement centers because after being displaced, then they were hosted in resettlement centers, and now they are allocated in nearby schools. So we go to these children, we go to the resettlement centers, we make an assessment, and we get to know which children have a low performance, and we we introduce them to this program where after school, if for instance, if they go to school in the morning, then in the afternoon they go for the cram school program so that they can have extra classes from the teachers, from the Tsuchi teachers. So this is one of the program I'm very glad to work with. And here I have some pictures you to see. These are one of the classes. This is a Kura Resettlement Center in Sofala. So the students attend school on their time. If it's 10, then later on by 4 p.m., then they attend the cram school program. It has been a bit challenging because some parents, after school, they demand their children to do some housework. And it's very difficult to let them come to us. So we have to talk to the parents and tell them the importance of these classes, our intentions and our expectations from these children. So luckily we managed to convince the parents to let them come to the cram school program. And after 1 quarter, we went back to the school or where these children attend in order to to know from the teachers how is their performance after 1 quarter. We tried also to get their marks to see if they're improving or not. And one of the stories I would like to share is regarding Feliciano, this boy. He really performs well now. His final average was 17, according to Mozambican grading system, is 17. But I believe the Stern system is in percentage, so it's 85%. And also we've also been going to the houses. We do some home visiting also to get to know from the parents or the family whether there is any impact, any social impact, whether the students are improving. And we have had some good feedback so far. And the last program also I would like to introduce to you, I would like to share is regarding scholarship program. Currently, we have 11 Mozambican students in Taiwan. For the past month, 5 more students went to Taiwan to attend this scholarship program. So it has been a long journey. These students, given that some of them, most of them, they don't speak English. They pass through a process. They first have to learn English from us. Then we train them in many other aspects. So then later they can be able to attend scholarship, given that abroad, they won't be able to communicate in Portuguese. Even to learn Mandarin, they should speak English first. So these are just some of the examples. We have hybrid system, local classes by the local teachers, face-to-face classes, and also the online classes. And also, they go through some basic IT lessons so that they can be able to attend the online classes by themselves. Some of these 11 are these 3. I'm here showing the level of English. At the beginning, they were beginners. Then by the time they traveled, 2 were already intermediate speakers regarding the English level proficiency. They were intermediate and 1 was pre-intermediate. So at least after this process, they are able to attend the scholarship program they're supposed to. And here I would like to share a video of one of the students we recorded a few days before he traveled after a very intensive course. I think it was about 2 months or 3 months of English lessons. From then he was supposed to attend the scholarship in Taiwan.
Hi everyone, my name is Agostinho Agostila. I am 24 years old. I am from Mozambique. In the last 2 months, I have been attending English online class. When I started learning English, I was afraid because I didn't know how to communicate with my teacher in English. For example, I speak Portuguese and they speak English. I want to say thanks all of you because now I can communicate with a lot of people. I'm so happy because besides speak, I can write and read. Thank you for the teachings. Kana.
So this is one of the students who is now in Taiwan and is, he's been doing great. And to finish, this is just sharing a picture of the students in Taiwan having lessons, and on the other side, on the right side, they are here standing, one of the masters, and also our sisters, our brothers and sisters in Taiwan this moment. So thank you so much for the chance, for the time. I don't know if there is any question. My sharing finishes here. Thank you.